Hello and welcome back to the Reapers. So we're just starting work with the Mirage 2000, which I recently acquired, and I'm looking forward to flying. Now the first thing I've got to do is going to set up the controls for it. So we're going to do it on the fly in real time, so bear with me if I have to make any corrections. But so I've gone, I've gone here into options. I've gone into controls here. I'm now going to find my lovely Mirage. There she is. Right, so the first thing is I'm going to go to Axes commands. And let's see what we've got. So first of all I'm going to scrub these ones out here because I know they're wrong. So just to show you how the controls works, we've got the various controls here and the various categories here. We've got keyboard controls that we can set here. The left half of my HOTAS here, which is the thrust lever part, and the right half of the HOTAS here, which is the control stick and those controls. Okay, and let's see what we've got. So pitch wants to be joystick Y, which it's already got, but we want to put some curves in, and you'll always want to put curves in for all of your planes, otherwise you'll really struggle to do fine control. So I click on it here, so let me just double check it is Y. Yep, it's got joystick Y there, and I'm going to go to Axis Tune, and I'm going to go to curvature. Up to 25 is my standard. Dead zone you can put on if you're having any problems with some planes like the Hawk. I had to put a dead zone on to help problems, but if there's no known problems with the dead zone, I'm just going to leave it as it is. Okay, next roll is already got joystick X. Let's test that. Yes, that works. Let's go to Axis Tune, and again 25 seems to be a pretty good compromise for ACM flying, and at the other end of the scale formation and refueling flying. Rudder, I'm going to delete that because I'm not sure if it's got that right. I'm going to use the twist grip on my right stick. There we go. Okay, and we do, and let's test that out. Yep, and we do want an axis on that. Again, 25. If there's any problems later, we can go and add a dead zone. Okay, TDC slew. Do you have that set up, Sherman? TDC slew on axis, or do you use keys and binary?
I do my TDC slew via my 8-way hat switch on my stick because I don't really need it for much else.
Roger, I'll do that later on then, that's fine. Thrust, it's only one engine obviously, so I'm going to get rid of that. It's definitely got that wrong. It's going to be on the left stick here, and I'm going to double click and I'm going to move thrust lever forward and then backwards, and it's picked up joystick X, or joy X on this side, the left side of the HOTAS, which is correct. Don't need any curve on that. Wheel brakes, I don't need that under the axis controls. I'll set them under binary controls. Zoom view, I do want that on axis. So I'm going to put it on this turny knob on my left HOTAS here. So I've used the full extent of that knob and it's picked it up as joystick Y. Don't want any curves on that. Just to explain the difference between axis commands and the rest. Axis is, I guess we'd describe it as analog input, like where a joystick movement, is analog. There's many different, command intensity.
An axis is essentially a percentage of input based on how far the controller is moved off of its central axis.
Roger, and anything other than axis is what I call binary. It's like a key or a press. It's just on or off.
Yes.
Okay, so that appears to be all of my axes. Right, I'm just going to set the basic things up that I know by hand. So you guys may not want this one, but I like cockpit view, snap view 5, and I like it as that one there on my left HOTAS. So I'm going to do that. Next, countermeasures. Do you know what these are called? I think I've just found them. Countermeasures here. Do we have some basic flare and chaff buttons, or is it going to be more complicated than that?
Stand by. So there's two buttons. There's the decoy program release and the decoy panic release.
Right, lovely. Looking for them now.
To explain what they do, decoy program is connected to a set of about 20 or so programs that can be assigned, and panic just releases an emergency chaff flare bundle when you need it.
Roger. Now I can't find these controls that Sherman's saying, so what I'm going to do is go up here. I'm going to go to search, and
type in decoy.
Decoy. Okay, we've come up with that. Yep, got it. So I've got panic release and program release. Lovely. So I'm going to put that on my left HOTAS. So that's going to be that switch there, and program release is going to be that switch there. Beautiful. Right, the next thing that I would like to do we have some kind of autopilot on-off switch?
There should be one, however, I always do it by mouse in the cockpit.
Roger. Okay, we're going to leave that with mouse for now. I may add it later to my joystick, but not at the moment. Right, I now want my air brake, probably called speed brake. I'm going to type in the search. No, it's not there. Can you have a look what your brake command is, please? Oh, I found it. Air brake.
Air brake.
I hate it how different planes spell it differently. It drives me nuts. Anyway, so I've got air brake on or air brake off. Those will be fine. So I'm going to have air brake on, that switch I use on my left HOTAS. Air brake off, that one I have there. I also notice I've got the wheel brakes down here, so I should probably get that sorted as well. It's got them wrong, so I'm going to delete them. And my wheel brake.
You best get that sorted now.
Roger, I'm going to put my wheel brake on my usual wheel brake on the right hand stick of my HOTAS. So that is wheel brake. That's the brakes done. Next, I want does this thing have flaps?
No, it is not, because it is a fly-by-wire delta wing.
Right, so I don't need to have flaps, so I'm going to use my normal flaps command. I'm going to put it to landing gear, because I've got a spare command now. So landing gear up, I'm going to do what I usually have with my flaps, and landing gear down, what I usually have with my flaps down. Lovely, that was handy. Right, now I'm going to get teased and bullied as ever, but I like my auto start. Auto start. Does it have an auto start? Oh, I hope it does.
Never had to use it, so.
Yes, you have. Start procedure, there we go. I'm going to set it on my usual place on my stick up here. And do we have a stop? Stop procedure. Kapowser. Right, that is the left side of my HOTAS done and good to go as far as I'm aware at the moment. Now we're going to shift over to the right HOTAS. So we've done the axis commands. Next, does it have such a thing as a nose wheel steering button?
It does. It's also important because in this plane it is the IFF interrogation button, so you'll need it bound on your stick.
Okay, I'm going to go to the search, and I'm going to go IFF, and yep, nose wheel steering IFF. So let me get rid of what it's put for me. It will guess basically for you what you want, but obviously you know better than the computer. I want it as that one on my right HOTAS. Roger, that's that. And now let's go into firing weapons. I'm guessing there must be a trigger of some kind.
Yeah, so the standard trigger fires all the weapons on the Mirage.
Alright, I've searched trigger and it didn't come up, so I'm going to have a look under...
Stand by. Weapon fire / bomb release is what it's called.
Roger, stand by. Going to go search that. Weapon, space, fire. Weapon. That's strange, didn't come up, so we're going to try release, see if that works. There it is. Weapons, fire, bombs, release. So I don't want what it's given me. Get out of there, sir. I want kapow, that one there. And I'm also going to put, because most planes have a separate weapons fire and bomb release button, I'm going to put my second button, my bombs release button, as that as well. So I've bound button 3 and button 1 to it. Just, that may not be the right thing to do, but that seems logical at the moment for me. Right, so that's that. Now the next button on my joystick that I usually set is my trimmer. So I'm guessing it's got basic normal trim commands. So I'm going to search. Yep, it's got, here we go, trim. Trim's something you need in all aircraft, so trim down. This is one of the 4-way hats on my right HOTAS stick. Trim left, trim right, and trim up. I don't usually bother with rudder trim, just usually don't need it enough to set it up. That's just me, so obviously there are loads of ways of setting your keys up, but I'm showing you how I do it, and if you do it the same way as me, that's useful because I'll be able to help you learn from that. Right, anyway, that's trim done. Now the next thing I usually set up is what I would call target lock button. What have we got similar to that? What would I lock my target with?
Yeah, it's called STT/TWS toggle, which is also known as target lock.
Affirm, setting that up, I'm going to set that up on my right HOTAS as that one there. I'm going to use that. Okay, now the next one would be my, what I'd call binary hat TDC slew. used in all modern fighters. How do I get to the TDC, please?
Type TDC.
Wow, it's actually coherent. Amazing. Right, it is. So if you want to know what TDC does, it's something you'll have in most planes, and it just controls up, down, and left, right, and it will control the cursor on your radar and sometimes on your HUD as well. So on the right stick, on another hat, my TDC hat, we're going to go down. We're going to go left. We're going to go right, and we're going to go up. It's also got TDC center. I don't think I'm going to bother with that. Right, that's my TDC done. Right, so I've got essentially one more button left on my stick that I usually set up, which is the kind of sensor select, you know. So it would change different ACM modes in the F-15. On the Hornet, it would also change the ACM modes. What have we got in the way of sensor select?
So what I have set up is there's two buttons for that. These are known as special forward and aft. There's also about the other two buttons I have are target unlock and special mode deselect, which basically resets your radar. And I have magic slave, air to ground designate, INS position update is the other one.
Roger, so that was that 5 things you had there?
4.
That's 4 things. I do have 4 things here. The only thing
so start with the special mode forward and aft.
Yeah, that's an easy one I can do. So this is going on a 4-way hat again. So it's going on the right stick forward, and I'm going to go here aft. Okay, annoyingly that is also my gun select. Do you have one set up for gun select? How do you select guns on yours?
I do it via, I have a hat switch just above my 4-way hats that I can use.
Okay, I
the joys of a TWCS, apart from the fact that the wires snap.
Okay, well let's go with this for now anyway. Now what was the third one that you wanted?
Target unlock / special mode deselect.
Right, so I'm going to set that up the same as my my KA-50. Going to go there, Roger, and what else?
Magic slave / air to ground designate / INS position update.
Magic slave. Yep.
Basically this one, once you've got a radar lock, allows you to slave the magic onto the radar.
Affirm. So those 4 most recent buttons I put on the third and last 4-way switch on my right HOTAS stick. So the only thing that I'm missing is gun select, and because I have an extra button that we haven't used, which is my old weapon release, which isn't used on this, I'm going to set change my magic slave over to that for now. And I'm going to put gun select, so that's air to air gun select, which is C, and I'm going to set it to the left on my, if you like, center select weapons hat, 4-way hat. Right, is that you, is that all of yours already done? Have you got any more?
So what I've done is magic select, else PCA select, and AA gun select, else PCA select as well.
Roger, to be honest, I'm all out of buttons on my stick anyway, so that's going to have to do for now at least.
Fair enough.
Right, so that's everything used up on mine. The 4-way hats, which I'm using for those various sensors and gun select, I may change around a bit, but essentially that is my Mirage setup, other than a couple of minor tweaks. If I have to add some more, I'll just append them to this video. I hope that helps, and we'll see you later.